must remember, during the struggle against apartheid, statistics tell me that anything between 40,000 and 60,000 South Africans were in exile.
Yes.
In Mozambique, in Tanzania, in Zambia, in Kenya. I remember living next to a South African family in Jericho, and they never left. As I speak to you now, it is estimated that nearly 1 million South Africans live outside of South Africa.
Okay.
Acceptable. So when one sees what is happening, this Afrophobia, where they are telling us, go and repair your country, and I think some of them have never traveled. And they must imagine that in Africa we live on trees, jumping from branch to branch.
Okay.
Perhaps some of them, we should give them a free tour of Africa, including Nairobi and Dar es Salaam and other places and Abuja, so that they are able to see that we cannot in good nature talk about African integration when we are not working together. And lastly,
yes,
they lose out. How many people have been taking their children in high school to South Africa? South African universities, tourism. I can tell you in the next 2 months, the South African tourism will be hit and hit hard. Those who are taking their children to university in those places will withdraw their children, and they are going to regret it.
Yeah.
But we ought not to do what they are doing. My view, we should not expel them. We should not mistreat them. What we should do is, at their moment of hate, we should show them love. Then they'll be disarmed. Then they'll know that they are in the wrong, hopefully. And then I hope to see that the leaders of these gangs should be arrested and prosecuted. It is only then that I'll know the South African administration is serious about this thing. The question of sensitivity must also be wedded with the question of government responsibility. It is the duty of government to ring-fence certain areas from the get-go. I get into South Africa, the government from the get-go would say, these areas of business are reserved for the locals.
Yes.
And if they are not reserved for the locals, then they can be in partnership with a foreigner up to this percentage. So failure of government to ring fence these things is what sometimes leads to the situation that we find, the so-called spaza shops, which they are complaining about. And I had my good friend Kagoro arguing that, in fact, when you destroy the spaza shops, who are you helping? ShopRite.
Yes.
Because immediately there are no kiosks or spaza shops. Where will you shop? The supermarkets. And where there are these spaza shops, the ShopRites don't thrive. So it's saying unknowingly they are actually aiding the white monopoly capital, because the reality, and Malema said it, okay, 300 Ghanaians have left. Now show me the 300 jobs that they took away from you. Of course, he's saying it tongue-in-cheek, but he's saying the opportunities are not self-evident. They are created. And you also ought to have a work ethic. The work ethic, and I listened to one of the Indians saying, but you want me to employ South Africans. Not that all South Africans don't have a good work ethic. But on Monday they'll not turn up for work. The Zimbabweans will. The Malawians will. The Mozambicans will. Because their motivation is totally different. They want to make the rand and send it back home. So it's a combination of factors which, in my view, demanded that the government ought to deal with it well. And CT was right, that the invisible political hand, when you can't solve it and you can't explain it, externalize the enemy. And that is exactly what is happening. All your problems to the foreign migrants. And remember, they are now saying there are two groups of them. Operation Dudula, which is very active in KwaZulu-Natal, and March on March, which is also very active in KwaZulu-Natal.
Right.
And the whole idea by the 30th of June, they are speaking with both sides of the mouth. One side is saying only undocumented. The other one is saying even documented.
All of them.
But even if you are documented, hasn't the environment been made so toxic? Before you explain yourself and give your papers, which upon display may also be destroyed,